The Illuminati, as they are collectively known, are the 13 elite families or bloodlines that have created and manipulated a system of control through a network of secret societies, most famously the Freemasons. Secret societies feed their chosen recruits into the Illuminati, and these are the ones that you find in the ruling class and the positions of power throughout the world. Most Freemasons never progress above the first 3 degrees of initiation and have little or no knowledge whatsoever of what their organisation is really about. Even those who make it to the 33rd degree in the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry know very little, and this is the so-called peak of the pyramid within the structure of their organisation. The Illuminati degrees, if you like, is the capstone to this pyramid structure, and only members of the 13 bloodlines make it here. Once you understand a few of the basic Illuminati symbols, you will begin to see how their secret language has infiltrated almost every aspect of our daily lives. The symbolism is placed in religions, company logos, street maps, television programs, commercials, films. Most of today's celebrities are products of the Illuminati. When we begin to decode the symbolism, it becomes easier to identify the influence of the Illuminati. In the end, all roads of command lead upwards to the 13 bloodlines that are orchestrating an agenda to take over the planet. The Illuminati agenda is to create a world government, a world central bank, one currency, a world army, and a microchip population connected to a global computer network. The pyramid is one of the most obvious Illuminati symbols, in particular the pyramid with the all-seeing eye, widely recognised as the Eye of Horus. The pyramid and all-seeing eye, or Eye of Providence, are 2 key symbols in Freemasonry. Freemasons say it represents the all-seeing eye of God, and is a reminder that a Mason's thoughts and deeds are always observed by the great architect of the universe. According to Egyptian legend, Horus lost an eye in the process of killing Set. Horus is the name that gives us the word horizon, and he was known by many names, including Lord of the Light and God of the Sun, hence he is the light bearer. Set is the name that gives us sunset, and he was known as the god of darkness. The stories of battles between Horus and Set are symbolic of the sun rising and defeating the darkness. The symbolic resurrection of the sun each day explains why resurrection is a recurring theme in ancient Egypt. Horus was resurrected as Amsu. The first hieroglyphic for Amsu was the 6-pointed star, or hexagram. Another esoteric symbol widely used by the Illuminati. The hexagram is also heavily associated with the Freemasons, Saturn worship, see Satan worship, and Zionism. Almost all ancient myths, religions and stories of good versus evil or light versus dark are symbolic of sunset and sunrise. Sorry, but Christianity is no exception. The very foundation of the Christian religion has been stolen from ancient sun worship and occultism and rewritten with only slightly different names. Horus is just one of the many historical figures with an uncanny similarity to Jesus. The Illuminati bloodlines are genetically connected through hybrid DNA, genetically fused by the interbreeding of extraterrestrials and humans hundreds of thousands of years ago. All over the planet you find the ancient legends and accounts of gods from another world who interbred with humanity to create a hybrid network of bloodlines. The Old Testament, for example, talks about the sons of God who interbred with the daughters of men to create the hybrid race, the Nephilim. Ancient tablets say the gods arrived on the earth in great chariots of fire, and numerous accounts confirm that there was technology much like helicopters and aeroplanes some 6,000 or more years ago. In many accounts, these gods or advanced beings are referred to as reptilian or serpent-like in appearance, and this helps to explain the common theme of serpents, dragons, snakes and lizards throughout ancient and modern history. The Sumerian clay tablets found in what we now call Iraq in the middle of the 19th century tell a similar story. It is estimated they were buried around 2000 BC, but the stories they tell go back long before that. The tablets talk of a race of gods from another world who brought advanced knowledge to the planet and interbred with humans to create hybrid bloodlines. The ancient accounts tell us that these hybrid bloodlines were put into the positions of ruling royal power in the ancient Near and Middle East in advanced cultures like Sumer, Babylon and Egypt. From these bloodlines has come the origin of the divine right of kings, the belief that only certain bloodlines have the God-given right to rule. These reptilian-human hybrid lines became the political and economic rulers of these lands occupied by the European empires, and they continue to rule these countries to this day. Independence was given to these lands when the British and European empires had suitably restructured the political systems and put their Illuminati frontmen in the highest positions of power to carry out their agenda covertly. There are none so enslaved as those who falsely believe that they are free. Illuminati literally means the illuminated ones, or enlightened ones. It is not surprising then that one of the symbols most commonly associated with the Illuminati is the eternal flame, a symbol representative of knowledge. One of the recurring themes in ancient history is of a hero figure that takes fire from the gods and gives it to the people. Prometheus in Greek mythology is one of the most famous of those heroes. Prometheus is often depicted in chains, being tortured by the gods for trying to educate humanity and give them illumination. God, of course, punished Adam and Eve for eating the forbidden fruit from the tree of knowledge. Prometheus was said to have stolen fire from Zeus in a giant fennel stalk and given it back to mankind. In addition, it is said that Prometheus taught humans the art of civilization, such as writing, mathematics, agriculture, medicine and science. Prometheus was the light bearer. Horus was the light bearer. Jesus was the light bearer. Lucifer as a noun means light bearer. Lucifer was the name applied by the church fathers to Satan, where Satan is said to fall as lightning from heaven, also known as Phosphorus, he who brings light, and Heosphorus, the Greek god of the morning star. Lucifer was represented as a naked winged youth with a torch in his hand. In the Bible, Matthew 28:18, Jesus says, "All power is given to me in heaven and in earth." Then later in the Bible, it states in John 5:19, "The whole world is under control of the evil one." Is this confirmation that Jesus, Horus, Prometheus, Lucifer are one and the same? The symbology of fire representing the enlightenment Prometheus gave to mankind is core to the philosophy of the world's elite. The Rockefeller family is particularly fond of Prometheus's flame, which appeared on their Standard Oil Company logo. The torch was retained when Standard Oil of Indiana became Amoco, after other mergers and a name change in the 1980s. A fountain at the Rockefeller Center in New York City portrays a statue of Prometheus holding the fire stolen from Zeus and gliding towards humanity. He lies inside a ring outlined by the signs of the zodiac. Behind the statue is an inscription saying, "Prometheus, teacher in every art, brought the fire that hath proved to mortals a means to mighty ends." American financier, banker and partner of JP Morgan, Anthony Drexel, founded Drexel University, which prominently features Prometheus's torch in its logo. Following Drexel's death, Drexel Morgan & Co. was renamed JP Morgan & Co. and is one of the original predecessors of what is today's JP Morgan & Chase. In the 1890s, the bank financed the formation of the United States Steel Corporation, which took over the business of Andrew Carnegie and others, and was the world's first billion-dollar corporation. The eternal flame is also seen being held by the Statue of Liberty, given to New York by French Freemasons. Her mirror image stands in Paris, with her corona or halo representing the sun, and the eternal flame representing Prometheus or Lucifer, the light bearer. This is not a symbol of American independence. It is a symbol of the Illuminati's control over America. In 1987, an eternal flame was placed directly above the Pont de l'Alma tunnel in Paris. Significant why? 10 years later, Princess Diana's Mercedes crashed into the 13th pillar in the tunnel below. Another torch has been placed where Diana is said to have been buried. JFK was murdered in Dealey Plaza. The street plan is a representative of a pyramid with the capstone missing, and Dealey itself actually means goddess line. There is an eternal flame on the grave of J.F. Kennedy in Arlington Cemetery, and in Dallas, Freemasons erected an obelisk with an eternal flame depicted on top, yards from where he was murdered. The mark of Prometheus or Lucifer, commemorating the deaths of both JFK and Diana, can be seen as the Illuminati's way of saying, "This was our work," and as a way of warning to other Illuminati members not to deviate from their mission of global domination and enslavement. The Olympic torch today is the eternal flame, commemorating the theft of fire from the Greek god Zeus by Prometheus in ancient Greece. It is ignited several months before the opening ceremony of the Olympic Games at the site of the ancient Olympics in Olympia, Greece. 11 women, representing the Vestal Virgins, perform a celebration, see ritual, at the Temple of Hera, in which the torch is kindled by the light of the sun, its rays concentrated by a parabolic mirror. At the London 2012 Olympics, the opening and closing ceremonies, see rituals, were full of Illuminati and Freemasonic symbolism. The ceremonies were a freakish reenactment of the story of the Illuminati, from conception to death, and finally, rising from the ashes into a new world order. It's all in there. The $1 bill is one of the most touched objects in our world, changing millions of hands throughout its lifespan. Every single letter, number or symbol on the dollar bill was put there for a reason. The most obvious Illuminati symbol is depicted on the reverse of the dollar bill: the pyramid, capstone, and all-seeing eye. The Latin surrounding the pyramid translates to announcing conception of the secular new order. The date at the bottom of the pyramid is 1776. The Bavarian Illuminati, another secret society, was founded on May the 1st, 1776. And this was the secret governmental structure that would replace British overt control for the covert control that exists today. The American Declaration of Independence was a statement adopted by the Continental Congress on July the 4th, 1776. Freemasonic historian Manly P. Hall documents that out of the 56 signatories on the American Declaration of Independence, over 50 were known Freemasons. Furthermore, all 56 who signed the declaration were cousins and of a royal bloodline. As said earlier, The reptilian-human hybrid lines became the political and economic rulers of the lands occupied by the European empires, and they continue to rule these countries to this day. Independence was given to these lands when the British and European empires had suitably restructured the political systems. There are at least 3 representations of an owl on the bill. The owl is used as a symbol of the Illuminati and is recognized as an emblem of penetrating sight and intelligence, or knowledge, such as the light bearer, perhaps. To the Illuminati, the owl is a representation of Moloch, an ancient Ammonite god, worshipped by the Phoenicians and Canaanites. Moloch had associations with a particular kind of propitiatory child sacrifice by parents. The name Moloch, used figuratively in English, refers to a person or thing demanding or requiring a very costly sacrifice. In mid-July each year, Bohemian Grove hosts a 2-week encampment of some of the most powerful men in the world, collectively known as the Bilderberg Group. Attendees include kings, queens, presidents, prime ministers, banking, military, health, education, business and media tycoons. It is at these secret gatherings where the real political discussions are held. Since the founding of the club, the Bohemian Grove's mascot has been an owl. A 40-foot hollow owl statue made of concrete stands at the head of the lake in the grove. This owl shrine was designed by sculptor and 2-time club president Haig Patergan. Since 1929, the owl shrine has served as the backdrop of the yearly cremation of care ceremony. Yes, the leaders of our world put all their differences aside, get together for a few days each year, put on their long dark robes, worship a 40-foot burning owl and perform rituals. Many celebrities today also pay their respect to Moloch with symbolism, while other Illuminati slaves like Madonna and Lady Gaga are more blatant about their satanic allegiance. The esoteric number of 13 is represented at least 9 times on the dollar bill by obscure imagery. 13 arrows, 13 olives, 13 leaves on the olive branch, 13 stars above the eagle's head, 13 stripes, and 13 stars on the shield the eagle is holding, 13 letters in the mottos on the front and reverse of the seal, and 13 layers to the pyramid. The 13 stars above the eagle's head form a hexagram, the 6-pointed star, or Star of David. The Star of David is the Rothschild family symbol and also appears on the flag of Israel, of course, no coincidence. The hexagram also reveals another hidden influence behind the creation of the Great Seal, as seen on the dollar bill: the Freemasons. The 13 stars that form the hexagram above the eagle are 5-pointed stars, or pentagrams. The pentagram is a very widespread sacred symbol, used since ancient times in many areas, including Egypt, India, Persia and Greece. It is one of the most powerful and most popular symbols used by many occultists, including those involved in Wicca and ceremonial magic. The inverted pentagram represents the goat head, or Baphomet. The goat head also signifies the goat of Mendes. The goat of Mendes is the god of witches. Mendes is also the name of an ancient city in Egypt, where Baal worship, or fertility worship, was practiced. The Baal worship at Mendes was particularly sexually perverse. The now familiar image shown here of Baphomet as a seated, hermaphroditic, winged, goat-headed and goat-footed man with women's breasts, a flame on his forehead and a caduceus at his groin was first introduced in the mid-1800s. The hermaphroditic nature of Baphomet is represented in the east by the yin-yang, both signifying the union of the male and the female, as with the hexagram. Baphomet is winged to show him as the fallen angel. The inverting of the pentagram represents Lucifer's fall. Occultists view Lucifer as both a good and bad god. The flame on the forehead symbolises he is the light bearer. This is the god that Freemasons consider to be the grand architect of the universe, or the supreme being. The caduceus was the winged staff with the two serpents twined around it, similar to the international medical symbol of today, representing the serpent or reptilian DNA. The eagle might represent the Egyptian concept of the phoenix. The phoenix was the patron god of Heliopolis, the city of the sun, a glorious bird born of its ashes. Resurrection is a reoccurring theme that was the foundation of Egyptian religion. The Latin on the shield held by the eagle or phoenix on the dollar bill translates to one of many, and again is surely representative of resurrection. The two-headed eagle is one of the most easily recognizable Masonic symbols in the world, even more important than the compass square rule. Most people assume that these two birds are eagles, but such an assumption would be wrong. Masonic author Manly P. Hall was recognised as a 33rd degree Mason, the highest honour conferred by the Supreme Council of the Scottish Rite. Regarding the two-headed eagle, Manly P. Hall's claim is that it represents the phoenix bird of ancient Egyptian mythology. In his book, The Phoenix, an illustrated review of occultism and philosophy, Hall writes, "Among the ancients, a fabulous bird called the phoenix is described by early writers. In size and shape, it resembles the eagle, but with certain differences. The body of the phoenix is one covered with glossy purple feathers, and the plumes in its tail are alternately blue and red. The head of the bird is light in colour, and about its neck is a circlet of golden plumage. Its back, the phoenix has a crest of feathers of brilliant colour. The phoenix, it is said, lives for 500 years, and at its death its body opens and the newborn phoenix emerges. Because of this symbolism, the phoenix is generally regarded as representing immortality and resurrection. The phoenix is one sign of the secret orders of the ancient world and of the initiate of those orders, for it was common to refer to one who had been accepted into the temples as a man twice born, or reborn. Wisdom confers a new life, and those who become wise are born again." Listen now to the testimony of a former witch, William Schnoebelen, in his book Satan's Door Revisited. The phoenix of Banu is believed to be a divine bird going back to Egypt. This phoenix destroys itself in flames and then rises from the ashes. Most occultists believe that the phoenix is a symbol of Lucifer, who was cast down in flames and who will one day rise triumphant. This belief also relates to the rising of Hiram Abiff, the Masonic Christ. Pyramids, especially when complete with capstone and eye, eagles, phoenixes, owls, pentagrams, hexagrams, 13, flames, torches, Prometheus, Horus, Jesus, Lucifer, etc. These are just a few of the key Illuminati symbols.